with a Biafran. You'll be only running around in circles. You can never come. It is the kingdom of heaven itself. You want to do something that is happening in heaven, on earth, for mankind to see and testify to the goodness of the Lord. You have to be of the courage. You have to be without fear in the face of your enemies. If you are without fear before your enemies will run from you. Rather than you running from them, your enemies will run from you. If you speak the truth always, regardless of the consequences, lies will run from you. You must protect those who cannot protect themselves, not to steal from them. I repeat, it is your job as a child of heaven, IPOB family member, to protect those who cannot protect themselves. That is your job. Not to kidnap them, not to rob them. You must be of good conduct. That's Chiku Okike Abia. If these conditions are not in place, Biafra will not come. And talk me like an auntie. Biafra Gahabia. Ana Akatiana Tibi. Ana Agotianobu. Going to a native doctor, Didi Anyanzu, cannot save you. If you want Biafra, and I am making audition, it doesn't work. We don't believe in that rubbish. Chukwukabiam is our shield and our guide. We don't commune with darkness. I am warning all 17 commanders, all our commanders, we don't commune with the devil. We don't do audition. We believe in the protection that Chukwukabiam can offer. The weapon you need to protect yourself is your gun and your ammunition. We don't commune with spirit.
Biafra must come. And when Biafra does come, everybody will be free. If Biafra is not free, none of you is going to be free. And that is why I have said it before and allow me to repeat. We have come to set all of you free. And if you allow this nonsense to continue, you'll be sunk. If you have not gotten your Somali visa, go and get it now. Because the zoo is gone. And the hell has arrived. Yes, it's an honor to have you again today, Friday, the 28th day of July 2023. I want to appreciate you wherever you're joining from. Of course, we are already at the weekend, so I want to welcome you to the weekend. Thank you all, wherever you're watching from. My name is Kelechi Ambrose. This is Biafra Global Network, and here, of course, the platform where truth, honesty, transparency, and accountability is critically and basically supported, patronized, and effected. And on this platform, I want to say welcome for your time, welcome for your resilience, those of you who are standing on the path of truth, those of you who are determined to stand on the things that have to do with the concept of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has preached about: truth, justice, transparency, and accountability. I want to welcome you to this program today on Biafra Global Network. Thank you all for joining, wherever you're joining. Please share this on all your social media platforms, share it, and also subscribe to the channel if you have not. We're going to be speaking critically today, and I'm going to be saying things according to how I'm led to today. Thank you all for joining. Yes, without wasting much time, I am going to first talk to especially those of us who always, all you do in Biafra freedom and Biafra fight is to go around looking for stories to talk about, to gossip about, to, just constituting nuisance on a critical thing as important as freedom fighting. Well, it is one of those things that will happen anyways. When it comes to things that are important in life, the people who are very active are very few. Those who are carrying out the action. Even in the globe today, if you look at the world, Makoma, good to have you. Thank you. Shalom to you also. Watching again. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Now, if you look at the globe also, you'll discover that those who are making things happen in the world are just few people. Just few people. Few people are making things happen. Few people are getting involved in critical decisions in the world. I can assure you, even in every nation of the world, it is just few people that are making things happen. And those few people are people who are determined, people who don't care about what it takes, who sacrifice, whether right or wrong. We have people who, of course, basically they are into trying to destroy. Basically, we have majority of people on the platform of the general view, where you have so many people on that platform, where you have the masses. That is where you find those who are either supportive of done right or supportive of what is being done wrong. And basically, you see majority of those people, that masses level, majority of them are always supporting that part that is going wrong. But that part that is going right always directs the whole situation. And in the end, majority comes to that aspect that is going right. Now, when you look at that, of course, in the world, you discover few people are making things happen. Two, few people also are encouraging people who are making things happen. Then on the third platform of it, you have those who are on the majority, those who just wait for things to happen, and all they do is talk about what is happening, whether positively or negatively. And that is where you find the masses. And when it comes to voting, when they find that what is happening is favoring them, they come and vote for it. But always looking and wondering and the masses. But even the circle who claim to be involved in what is happening, they are basically who are bringing down the whole thing. That is why you see in Biafra struggle today, majority of the people who are claiming to be fighting for freedom are just jokers. Jokers. They don't know. You see, they don't know what they're doing. I tell you, it is, as I was saying 2 days ago. This coming into the fight for freedom has really opened my eyes to so many things. Honestly, we were actually not prepared. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu really struggled. No wonder he was talking about not talking to so many people. No wonder he was feeling so frustrated sometimes. No wonder sometimes he would speak and his voice would just go. Look at the intro, or the intro message I played when I started this broadcast. You'll discover that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's voice was cracked. He was struggling to talk. If you listen to him very well, I remember that period. I think that was in 2020. He was struggling to talk because he keeps receiving so much challenge from these people. All they do is gossip. All they do is backbite. All they do is bring down. All they do is fight and destroy one another. And I am seeing everything Mazi Nnamdi Kanu suffered. In fact, I think I've not seen enough yet, because more is coming. Gossips, blackmail, bring down, jealousy, envy, greed. Even in the midst, think are fighting for freedom. Even in those people that you think must be genuine. These kinds of things, people for gossips give, if they have 2 hours, I don't know whether you can hear me, if they have 2 hours, they can give 1 hour. I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know, this my network signal here is always very terrible. I don't know I don't know, for the past 2 months or so, it has been so horrible. And all they do is and all they do is try to destroy the whole system. Now, I want that they have been in this trouble for a long time. You see, there's one basic thing that you should be ashamed of saying, especially when you don't really look like it. It is a very shameful thing to talk about how long you have been in a thing when you don't even look like you are really in this thing for a long time. When you don't even look like you have really made any impact. It is not about having your name everywhere. People know you as someone who has to claim to be in a thing for time. And when people look at you, when people look at your activities, when people look at the way you operate, they just wonder, is this person normal? The biggest shame you can have in your life is to always come out. I've seen so many people in this Biafra stuff. They come to tell you how long they have been in this thing. In fact, they were there with Uwazuruke until, and now with Mazen and Bikano, and then until now. And they keep telling you how they've been there. And when they open their mouth to talk, they are busy gossiping. No points, no tangible, no sense. They are just backbiting, bring down. It's so funny. It's so funny. Now I want to talk to you out there. If you are one of those people who have been in this Biafra project for a long time, I want to talk to you, because if you look at yourself critically, you will observe something strongly, especially when you discover lying to the fact. Ask yourself this question so far. Been in this thing for a long time. I've been here since 1999. I've been here since 2000, 2001, when it was Ricky and Begin. We're all there until Mazen and Bekano began. In fact, I began with Mazen and Bekano, all of that. You know how to boast about all of this stuff. You know how to tell your story, how you've been in this thing for a long time, and how you know the details, the in and out of the struggle. Yet you don't look like it. Yet you are just there. You occupying space. Yet you can talk about all the protests you have been part of, all the policies that you have been able to experience, and everything that you have seen. Yet you are a minus to the whole thing. It's a shame. Stop talking about that. Think again, reminisce, think over it, imagine, sit down, ponder. What have I really contributed? All the years I've spent in seeking for freedom, what have I really experienced? What have I really contributed? What have I really imputed? What have I really achieved? These are questions you should ask yourself, rather than coming out and bragging and talking and gossiping and boasting and all of that. We don't need all of that stuff. It's not about, if you remember, I told you guys about 3 months or 4 months ago, I was giving an analysis from the scripture, from the Bible, and there was a particular man, a particular narrative that Jesus gave, a parable he gave. People were employed into the vineyard to work in the morning, and then to about 1 hour or so before the end of the day's work, he employed another set of people. And the same amount he discussed with the people for the morning was the same amount he discussed with the people that were coming in 1 hour to closing time. And when it was closing time, he paid everybody the same amount. And those who have been there since morning said, this one just came in. Why are you paying them the same amount with us? We have been here since morning. How can we labor from morning till now? And people just joined us about 1 hour ago or so, or more or less, and you are paying them the same amount you paid us. You are paying us. And Jesus said that, didn't I bargain with you? I discussed with you on what it will cost. I bargained with you on how much I'm going to pay you. Now, these ones too that came 1 hour to the time, or 2 hours or whatever time they came, at least later than you, I also bargained, and the same amount I told I was going to pay you is the same amount they decided to collect, and I agreed with them, and they joined and they worked. And so it's about the bargain. It's not about how long you've been here. That is what the things that have to do with the kingdom. Important things have nothing to do with how long you've been in it. It's all about the value you are adding to it at a particular time. You must understand this. And I want everyone, Akama, good. I'm seeing your messages anyways. Good to have you. Thank you. You're the only one who have been sending messages anyways, but I know you're sending, strong, good messages. Thank you so much. But they have been adding value even if they came at a short time. So the most shameful thing that can happen to you, I think in my own opinion, the most shameful, I call it the most shameful, is for you to be in a thing that is supposed to be of value to humanity, and yet you don't add value, you don't give anything, you are so empty, you are so void, you are just there occupying space. All you do is brag, all you do is gossip, all you do is expose yourself and your stupidity. How long did I begin this? I think 1 year or plus ago, I began to broadcast. I came all out to decide to broadcast. I've been following Mazen Abdon. I've not been in the system for a long time. And I keep saying it. I have not been in the system. I was just doing my own business, doing my own thing. And when I received a conviction after Mazen Abdikano was, please, I'm on a broadcast. Please, I'm on a live broadcast. Please call me later. I'm on a live broadcast now. So after I discovered that Mazen Abdikano was already, the things started happening to him, I now decided, when those things happened, I said, no, this injustice, this is the time. Those men that Mazen Abdikano is praying for, I am one of them. I received the conviction and I said, I'm going to come into it. And that is why everything I do today, I make sure that no matter how close we are, if you have erred, if you err, I'll tell it to your face. And thank God Chukwuokike is bringing people like that, of like minds. No matter what you are, who you are, whether my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, or whoever, friend, or whatever, or whether no matter what you have been to me, or you are to me, or what you will be to me, once you err, I will tell you to your face that you are doing the wrong thing. Once I err, please tell me to my face and tell me what I'm doing wrong, and prove to me that I'm doing wrong. If I want to talk about you doing wrong, I'll prove to you that you are doing wrong. It's not about gossips. It's not about bringing down syndrome. No, I don't do that. And that is why that is the only way we can get results. Now, the truth here is that the time has come to crack down on evil and to remove every obstacle that have been stopping us from getting our freedom. And this is the time. Now, I want to prove to you that this is the time, because when you look at things, when you look at events, when you are very sensitive to your environment and the issue of Biafra freedom and struggle, you will observe that we have gone through so many things. But it is not about observing the things we have gone through, but it's about being able to get the meaning of every activity and get the basic lesson from everything that we're going through, and understanding the times and the seasons in the midst of what we are going through. Because the only thing that can make you understand why and what is happening at any particular time in any particular situation is to understand the meaning of a particular action at a particular time and the implication over the time, or over the situation, or over circumstances. The implication, not just understanding, hey, 2017 and 15, Mazen Abdikano was arrested. Then after 2015, in 2021 again, they kidnapped him. No, it is not about keeping dates. It's not about keeping time. It is about understanding the meaning of date and time and events in the situation, or in the circumstance, or in the particular purpose that you are into. That is why it is only few people that are always spearheading a revolution, or a particular revolution in the whole concept of humanity. Only few people. Few people begin it. You know why? Only few people have the temerity, have the knowledge, have the revelation, and all of that to understand, to read the times. Other people keep time and events. Other people keep record of time and events without understanding the implication of time and events to seasons and activities. But only few people understand all of this stuff. You understand? Only few people understand all of this stuff. And then when they understand all of this stuff, they apply it rightly. And that is why in this time, we have to begin to understand all of this stuff. You have to understand that if you are one of those people who are called, then you know you begin to understand what I'm saying here. It only takes those who understand what I'm saying now. It only takes those who are called into this mission to understand what I'm saying. Because you don't just count times, you don't just give records of events. You give records of events based on the implication it has in the current time and season, and based on the implication it has in the general purpose of why a thing is happening. Therefore, I want to welcome those people who understand all of this stuff. I want to welcome all of you who are, into all of this stuff and understand what we're saying. Now, today, I'm going to be speaking on cracking down evil. Now, when we talk about evil, sometimes people think you are talking about the devil. When you say evil, the first thing that comes into their mind is Satan. Uh, but when you talk about Satan, you are actually talking about the actions of people. That doesn't mean that there's no being called Satan, because by scripture we understand there's a being called Satan. But the operation of that being called Satan needed humans to be exhibited or to be carried out. So when you talk about Satan, you are not going to talk about Satan without talking about instruments, human instruments that are useful in the hands of Satan to implement the actions of the devil in the natural world, or the same Satan or evil. Now, the actions of Satan are always evil, which means evil is the element or the ingredient that, or the features of the devil. So, which means that anytime you see any kind of evil being carried out, an action which is evil, because evil is not the name of the devil, the name of the devil is Satan, as it's called, or whatever name it's called in the Hebrew word and all of that, or in the Greek word, or in any other language in this world. Whatever name it is called, it means a person. But the action of that person is what is termed as evil. So if there is an action that is termed as evil, that action will only be conspicuous or be real when there is a human vessel that portrays that action. That means if nobody does anything evil, you cannot talk about evil. So if the devil is the father of liars or the epitome of evil, he needs human vessels to actually express that evil or that evil side of him. Because as the devil, he is evil, but he cannot showcase evil unless there is a human who connects with him to carry out evil. That's what it means. You understand? So now, if this is the case, then we have to understand this in line with what we're talking about now. Who then becomes the human vessels for the propagation of evil? Now, when we talk about evil, in what particular order are we referring, or are we trying to express this? These are the questions. Because, see, sorry, if we don't ask ourselves basic questions, you see, in this Biafra stuff, as Mazin and Mekano have said, we would keep running around in circles. And I don't know why people just want to ignore these things from Mazin and Mekano. Look at the person God have sent to us to talk about our freedom. And yet we don't want to listen to him, but yet we want to look for the freedom. We want to look for the promised land he talked about, he preached about, but we're not looking at the process in achieving the promise. How can you talk about the promise or talk about an activity, or talk about a destination without looking at the road or the map that leads to, that takes you to the destination? It's like talking about going to Obalende, and you're at mile 2, in the zoo. Most of you can understand that. Those of you who grew up there and all of that know that place. Yeah, you see, you have to look at it. What road leads to mile 2? That becomes the question. If you want to get to, want to get to mile 2 and you're at Obalende. If you want to get to mile 2 from Obalende, you God, my network is pushing me around anyways. Now, if there's a way you can get, if you know your network stuff, man. I hope you can hear me. People can hear me, right? You can hear me. So if I'm going to Obalende, mile 2 from Obalende, then I must understand that there's a path or a way that takes me there. Now, to get there doesn't mean, it's not about talking about mile 2. Oh, mile 2 is where I'm going. No. How mile 2? That becomes the question. The way and the process and the safety of the road and the truth that this road leads to mile 2 becomes the issue, not the destination itself. Because the destination itself somewhere, but there's and we are here right now in the struggle. We are here at the point of struggle. What is the relationship between us and the destination? That becomes the big question. So if there's going to be me going to, if I'm going to be going to the destination called Biafra, then I have to also look at where I am. Where I am, is it far from the destination? Where I am, how does it do? Is there any road path that leads to destination called Biafra? These are the questions you ask yourself. When you ask yourself such kinds of questions, you now begin to understand how to get there. That is how it runs. So you look at it. How far have we gone so far? Because we have been talking about Biafra all this while. Now, those who have been in this thing, what path have they been taking? The path they've been taking, has it been leading us to destination, or it has been a path of evil? Because anything that takes you away from destination is evil, because it will not actually give you a result. And when it gives you a negative result, it is the destination of evil. Now let's listen to this message from Mazen Amekano. I want you to listen to it. Why we always want to patronize evil, why we always patronize lies, why we always want to go on the path of lies. Now listen to this.
To the effect that, why is it that when we're talking about supporting Radio Biafra and the work that Radio Biafra is doing, and this nonsense about people forming Biafra government here, Biafra government in exile there, and all that stupidity, when there is no Biafra yet, why is it necessary that our people must be deceived? Why are we prone? Why are Igbo people, I'm not saying other different nationalities, why are Igbo people prone to being deceived? Why do we accept lies more than the truth? You can look at the other criminal groups that they set up that crumbled. What happened? They're dead, they're buried, they're finished. Nothing is coming out of them anymore. The cockroach that comes up and mentions the word Biafra wants to have his own cabinet. What type of madness?
Why are people prone to be deceived? Why are we easily misled and deceived? Why are we finding ourselves in a situation where we are always deceived, we are always manipulated? Mazen Amekano was asking why and why and why and why. And I want to tell you that in that broadcast, he was not mentioning why because he wants to mention why. He has seen so many things and he kept asking the questions. Why this? Why that? Why are we easily deceived? Why are our people easily manipulated and prone to being deceived? The path to Biafra is not the same as the path to what you think you want to achieve. Now get this very well. Two things. The path to Biafra. Now, some of you are in, the name Biafra is a problem to you. You always, you don't like the name. Yes, nobody's disputing that. To me, I also believe that the name should be changed because so many evil has been associated to that name, so many deaths, so many terrible things. But this is not the time to argue about the name. The name will sort itself, but we have to argue about what we want to achieve. Now, what I want to achieve and what you want to achieve must come to tally with what Chukwokike has for us. But if you want to go through that path, you must understand that that path the path you have in mind might not be the path that leads to that freedom. That is where the knowledge of what we are seeking for is very, very important. Now, the only way to understand the path that leads to Biafra, as the name implies now that we're still using the name Biafra, the only way to understand the path that leads to that to the destination is truth. And what is truth? To be honest to yourself, to refuse to patronize lies, to refuse to allow yourself to be deceived, to refuse to allow yourself to become an evil, to stop supporting evil, to stop patronizing evil, to keep yourself on the path of truth and justice. That's what Mazen Amekano said. Mazen Amekano said, if you don't do this, you're going to be running around in circles because you would not achieve this thing in trillion years. I'm going to play it again for you to listen, because it is important for us to listen to these things and understand these things very well. Now, listen to what Mazen Amekano said here again, although I played it when I began, but listen to it line by line, word for word, understand what he was saying here.
If we abandon Chukwokike Abiyama in truth and honesty, please goodbye to Biafra. Biafra can happen in a billion years. You'll be only running around in circles. You can never come. It is the kingdom of heaven itself. You want to do something that is happening in heaven, on earth, for mankind to see and testify to the goodness of the Lord. You have to be You have to be without fear in the face of your enemies. If you are without fear before your enemies will run from you rather than you running from them. Your enemies will run from you. If you speak the truth always, regardless of the consequences, lies will run from you.
If you speak the truth always, lies will run from you. If you speak the truth always, lies will run from you. Now, let me tell you what truth is. Truth is that path that leads to destination of Biafra. Lies is that path that takes you away from that destination. So when he said that you will run in circles if you don't patronize truth and honesty, he's actually saying that if you don't follow the path that will take you to Biafra, you will not get it. So that is why when I keep seeing all this dancing around, all this noise making, all this bragado, all these things that people are doing on social media, all the noise around and the killings, let me tell you people something. You see, this issue of the killings of our people, it will not stop unless we begin to patronize the truth. You see, I don't know how, I think God will help me to speak to you guys here now. You see, all this nonsense that you are doing, especially those of you who are fighting the truth, those of you who think that Biafra struggle is about my paddy, or my clique, or my gang, or my person, or my man. So I will support him because it's my man. Those of you who have such kinds of mindset, Ego, good to have you here. I appreciate you. Good to have you. Thank you so much. Say to your prayers. Thank you also here. Thank you for your messages. And of course, I appreciate you guys and those who are watching and those who will watch later. Now, you see, all these attitude, all these things you are doing, you will only run in circles. You run round. It's like an odyssey. Odyssey is like circumnavigating. You just keep going around. Circumnavigation. Some of you don't understand what circumnavigation. Just go and check the word circumnavigating. That means you keep going round. You could circumnavigate. That's when you're navigating, you're trying to navigate on the sea, and then you are going and you come back to the place where you began again, and you start going again, and you come back to the place where you are. You're circumnavigating. When you're circumference, all this stuff, in English. So you are just moving around in circles. And Mazen Amzikam said you are going to do that for 1 trillion years, which means you will die, your generation will come, they will die, and everybody will come. Keep that. As long as they keep patronizing lies, as they come, they die and go. Every generation that comes dies and goes. Because nobody wants to tell themselves the truth. Now, I want to talk to those of you who are just allowing yourselves to be used by the evil system and by the evil going around to destroy the system. Now, I want to assure you that Accountability and Transparency Group is that people or that group that Mazen Amdekano said, that a group will emerge that will stand on the path of truth, and that group will do the needful. I want to tell you, I want to tell you that, you see, everything you do against this Biafra movement, that is evil. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, as long as your conscience, whether dead conscience or conscience that is alive, as long as your motive is not clean, as long as what you do is working against this project, whether knowingly or unknowingly, you would have the repercussion, and it will come very, very terrible on you and your generations to come. It's not a curse. It is standard. When you are following after a spiritual path, especially anything that the spiritual has ordained to be achieved, and you begin to work against it because of your selfish desires or because of your evil intentions, you automatically put yourself on the pedestrian of total annihilation. Your generation, you'll be cut off. Anybody who comes into this thing for selfish desires or for self-aggrandizement or to make money or whatever reason, Or you come because you're paddy, then you want to support your paddy. Hey, he's from my state. Hey, he's from my family. Hey, he's an Igbo man. Hey, he's from this part of Igbo. Hey, he's somebody that I like. Hey, this one, I don't like this one's face. Hey, I like this one's face. And that is what you have come to do in this Biafra struggle of Biafra project. The same punishment that will come on these evil people who are defrauding Biafrans, the same punishment will come on you and your generations to come. So the fourth generation. So that's the truth. Thank you so much, Ego. Keep standing on the path of truth. You are an overcomer. Okay, we'll keep you standing tall. Thank you. Issei, thank you so much. You are responding to the E-Frog. I don't have time for him. Just thank you for that response. Anyways, Ego, I know you are there, so you know how to handle them. He's an E-Frog. He's trying to tell the people that he knows my location. That's what he's trying to do. He's just daft. He's just stupid. So, now let me tell you, you see the action of getting rid of the evil that is happening in our midst. The action of getting rid of the evil that is in our midst. It is everybody's action. When I don't support evil, when you don't support evil, we all will not support evil. That's what it means. Because when you are doing the right thing, I'm doing the right thing. We all are on the path of righteousness. Because God leads us into the path of righteousness for his name's sake. So the purpose of being on the path of truth is for the name of the Lord's sake, not for our purpose, not for our sake. It has nothing to do with us. We are just instruments to restore this for a better life for our people, for us and our people. You prolong Biafra project when you keep patronizing lies. I have seen so many things. I've seen so many things in these few moments. And that is why in fact, if I meet Mazin Amdekano now, oh my God, I'll so much I will look for, I will embrace him. I'll say, sir, you tried. Because our people, oh my God. That's why I like the members of Accountability and Transparency Group. Today we are sieving the house. We are sieving, yes. Nobody is spared. And Transparency Group, we want to set and Transparency Group. We were doing that every evil, everything is transparent. So we sieve out the evil. Accountability and Transparency Group is dedicated to making sure that the truth is the only thing that stands the order of the day. So whether you're my paddy or not, the only thing that will keep us going nice and wonderful and keep on moving on like we are supposed to move on in the project is when you stand on the truth, I stand on the truth. That's how we operate in the Accountability and Transparency Group. Once you stand on the truth, I stand on the truth, we can move on. Once you break the truth or I break, and once for you run away. That's how it happens in Accountability and Transparency Group. Let me tell you, somebody in a place, and they are being talked away or talked out of it based on the fact that what is being said at that point is, and I'm talking about those who are in the group of lies, because on the group of lies, on the pedestrian of lies, where lies is being talked about and where criminality is being patronized, everybody there is a criminal, so nobody walks away. The only thing that they can do is to kill one another because it's survival of the fittest, and all of that. But whenever you have a path, a platform where you have truth as the watchword, you will discover that those who come with hypocrisy and deceit over time will take themselves out. You know why? Because once the truth becomes the judge, once the truth stands tall, and when the truth begins to point its searchlight in the whole house, you see that light, they want to hide from it, they run away. But I'm telling you that in the Accountability and Transparency Group that we are building now, some of you have been saying, hey, when are you going to launch? And when are you coming out? We are in a hurry, but we are taking cognizance of making the house right. Because we cannot raise another group that will come and become constitute nuisance to Biafrans again. That is why we're asking you, if you're a truthful person out there, you're standing on the path of truth, come all out now and join. Come on all out and join. Now, let me put the number again. You can send messages. I know I've received some messages, but I've not been able to respond to them. Come all out and join. Because what we want to do is to set up a structure. A few people who stand on the path of truth. Few people are on the path of truth. We would establish the template for Biafra to be achieved. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it. Only by truth and honesty will Biafra come. And unless we stand on that, all this dancing around, you see all these things, Simon and Co. and all other people who are on the path of lies, and all other people who have their rogue team moving around Biafra territory, killing people. You see all they are doing, it won't bring us Biafra. You see, there's no two ways about it. There's no two ways about it. And I want to tell you, if you don't do the right thing now, our people will still be losing their lives. Because I tell you, the reason why we're having more deaths, why we are having more situation and trouble is because few people, it's because most of our people or some of our people are still patronizing the evil. Still patronizing the evil. Still patronizing the evil. Still patronizing the evil. Continue to come. Point where he was saying that if not that he's called into this, he will not talk to some of you. The reason why our people are dying today is because we have not engaged truth. That's the truth. The reason, and we'll keep losing. It's not as if when we embrace truth, some people will not die, but it will not be in this level obvious of the evil going on. It will not be on this level. It will not be on this level, on this scale, that proves that it is actually betrayal, sabotage, and all of that that is killing the people. Do you know that the majority of the deaths that are happening in Biafra land now, 98% of the deaths are caused by the fact that the evil that has taken over the minds of some of our people is in control and in charge. It's in charge. It's in charge. Look at somebody talking about landlord. It's not my business anyways. Ego, just take care of that e-frog. Now listen. Do you know why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kept shouting and kept shouting? And in spite of the fact that he kept shouting, there was still resistance. And now he's in trouble. Because the people around him didn't see the need for them to be on the path of truth with him. Keep asking yourself. I want you to ask yourself, please ponder, think of it. How come that since 1970, this is 2023, about 53 years or so, we still are struggling? This is something that can take us just few months and we're going to get our freedom. Ask yourself, how come we are still struggling for 53 years after the end of that genocide? This is what MNK is shouting over the years. People will see bad and be painting it and will not face it. Rather, they go on petty and trivial issues that are that are baseless, just to pull down. Thank you, Ego, for that. Just to pull down. And this has been the circle. This has been how it has been. This has been how it has been routine, circumnavigating. If we don't crack down on the evil, I told you the other day that the first evil to crack down is this sentiment of my party, my man they there, and my person they there. Hey, don't talk to this person. Don't talk about this person. He is our person. He is the person there. Yeah, no, you can't talk about this person. We all no. It doesn't work that way. Congress says we are unstoppable. That's it. We're unstoppable. That is why Mazin American said it's going to be the last miracle. It's going to be the last miracle, and that miracle will come as soon as Chukwokike discover people who have truth. He's going to utilize their actions. You see, I'm not bothered about everything that is happening right now, even if it is costing the lives, of so many people, innocent people. But the truth about it is that it will destroy those evil people, causing the lives of the innocent people to be tarnished and terminated. It will in their generations to come. You see, including those ones who are on social media supporting this evil going on by their actions and inactions. When they know that what is happening is evil, they're patronizing it. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. But Chukwokike is in charge. That's why I'm not bothered. Because it's Biafra project will not be achieved through my action, but through Chukwokike, who uses my action to bring about it, or bring it to light. And he will also use the actions of the evil people to bring it to light and then destroy them, the same way he used Pharaoh and destroyed them. So everybody must understand this, that we have to crack down. I'm just trying to make it, because I discovered that sometimes we talk about complexities, what you're saying, we don't understand. I'm trying to use normal terms, normal words. You see, let me tell you something. It is not how long you have been in this struggle or this movement. It is how effective you are. Stop talking about how long you have been here, so that people will not talk to you, so that people will not ask you questions, so that when people question you, you say, do you know how long I've been in this struggle? You are just an empty vessel. For you to be telling people that you don't know how long I've been in this struggle means that you're empty, because you have already told us that you have been in this thing for a long time. And then it now proves that your long time in this thing didn't yield any result. Everybody can see the result Mazin Ambikan has produced as a person. Yes, I will. Thank you so much, Ego. Right on. Akoma says, thank you. Everybody has seen how effective Mazin Ambikan has been, because he stood on the path of truth. What have they seen in you? Rather, people see so many controversies. When they say, hey, somebody says something here, they'll link it to you. Naim Tokam. They say somebody said that, hey, Naim Tokam, hey, Naim say this, Naim say that, Naim gossip this one, Naim gossip that one. Hey, you are the one who is seeing every fault in the whole thing. You are the one who is seeing somebody else's backside. You are the one who knows, everything going wrong somewhere with somebody. Oh, Chukwokike, help our people. Help our people. You see this Biafrans movement? Nobody can bring it down. They never born you. Guys, talk them the way they talk them. They never born you. If you like, just like what Simon is doing, gather the whole militia, use the monies of the foolish people, gather militia, buy weapons, be all over Biafra land, keep moving with, keep getting your men move around in Biafra land. You can't be an instrument to restore Biafra. It's not possible, because God is not mocked, and you will pay for it. Truth has many associations, but it will always win. That's it. Anytime people stand on the path of truth, they have few people. Don't you see the number of people watching now? Those days when I was hailing Simon, you see people here, you sometimes see 100, sometimes 50, 70, 200 and something watching. And after that, you see some thousands. On other platforms too. But today you see 10, 17, 15. These days, I've not even seen up to 20 watching at the same time. You know why? When you tell the people what they want to hear, and because the people's hearts are stiff-necked, they're stiff-necked. They're stiff-necked. And their heart is a heart of stone. Tell them the truth, they don't want it. That's why Mazin Ambikan was concerned in that stuff I played. Why do our people find it easy or easier to embrace lies? How come? What's the mystery behind this? What's the mystery behind the people who are suffering, who should be thinking of how they can get themselves to be free? But yet, when they see the truth, they don't want to embrace it. They want to hold on to lies that will keep them in bondage still. For about 53 years now, we are still in bondage. Ask yourself, why? What are we doing wrong? But no, they don't want to ask that question. What they want to hear is, when is the next protest? And when are we going to sew the next uniform to the next t-shirt? When are we going to buy the next face cap to move around to prove that I'm a Biafran? You think Biafra movement is about wearing face cap and holding a microphone to speak somewhere? You think that's what it is? You think the international community is interested in all? If you like protest from now to tomorrow, do you hear all those people talking about it's going to Biafra? 2 women who were raped in India. I'm not saying that rape was justified. No, I'm not justifying it. It was, in fact, it's terrible. You know, they are marginalized. 2 women were gang raped. Look at what is happening on BBC and CNN and everywhere. They're talking about it as if an atomic bomb had been thrown, into Hiroshima in Japan again. They're talking about killings. Doesn't that tell you something that they don't want to talk about? Something about you they want to crush. They want to crush it. Then ask yourself this question: what I'm doing now, is it helping them to crush me, or it is going to get me saved, or get them to talk about me so that I can be free? But all you want to do is wear the same uniform, the same pants, the same boxers, the same trousers, the same skirts, the same t-shirt, and come out and begin to protest. And then you look for one gossip and talk. Oh my God, our people are horrible. We are intellectually empty. When you are smart but lack intellectual content, you constitute nuisance to anything that is profitable. Listen to me again. When you are smart but lack intellectual content, you will constitute nuisance to anything that makes meaning to humanity. You know why? Because you are smart, you will engage in activities, and every activity you engage in, you want to prove some facts about it, but you want to prove some point about it. But because you don't have that intellectual content to justify or to utilize in the realm of your smartness, you now exude, or you now patronize trifles. You patronize trivial matters. You patronize petty matters. All you're involved in is you now get your smartness, you now utilize it on things that make no meaning. That is why you find so many gossips. When they hear one story, everywhere they're talking about it. Bring something that is intellectual. You don't hear anybody talk about it. Everybody keeps quiet. Bring something that is a gossip. Ooh, they prove how smart they can analyze things. Just like what Simon is doing. That's how Simon knows them. So that's what Simon throws to them. And other gang rogues that are all over there. It's not only Simon's that's in this thing as a criminal. There's other rogue teams. The one dangerous thing that can happen to any kind of people is to be smart but lack intellectual content. You know why it is easier for Fulanis to keep being in one accord, doing what they're doing? Because 1, they're not smart. 2, they don't have intellectual content. So their thinking has one pattern. They are being controlled by somebody who thinks for them. Maybe that one-eyed man who is somewhere, that one thinks for them and gives them order using, the religion to hijack, to keep them, that is why they don't want their people to go to school. So majority of them would always have that mindset that is restricted. So that is why, because they don't have that intellectual content, and they don't have that smartness, they tend to behave foolishly. So it is easier for their so-called leaders to direct them on where to go. And they have less problems about what action they are told to take. They say, go and kill yourself, tie a bomb on your body, go and kill yourself, and they'll go. Because they've been told that they're going to heaven and they're going to have how many wives? 70 wives also, and then some other girlfriends. And then they're going to have enough wine and they'll shack enough in that stuff. Yeah, one-way traffic. Thank you so much, Ego. One-way traffic, because they are not smart. What makes you not to go one-way traffic is your smartness. But what helps your ability to move and make meaning is your intelligence, your intellectual content. So our people are smart, just like they are known all over the nations of the world. Oh, they want to make money. They know how to make money, but they don't have intellectual content. So even in that smartness of being able to make money, they can kill their mother and kill their father, because intellectual content to make that money is not there. Intellectual content to pursue their freedom is not there. They are only smart. And that is why, because they lack intellectual content, they gossip, they bring down, they tear down. All they want to do is to look for something against you, especially when they feel threatened about your presence. I know the kind of fights I fight. I know the kind of fight I am fighting just in my own little capacity. Not to talk about people, somebody like Mazin Amekano, who is the leader. What he has gone through in just these few times I'm in. And some other of my comrades who are standing on the path of truth, I know the kind of attacks that they are receiving. Not to talk about Mazin Amekano, who is now facing everybody and trying to open their brains. No retreat, no surrender, and victory is ours. Thank you so much, Akonwa. Victory is ours. It's certain. That's why we're not moved. And as I said 2 days ago, and of course my comrades here also who are in path of truth can bear witness, and also that's how they stand in their hearts too. Nobody can talk us out of the path of truth. Nobody. You can't talk us out of Biafra projects. No, you can't talk us out of accountability and transparency. Rather, you will move because you're not on the path of truth. Once you're on the path of truth, you can't live what is transparent and truth. You can't live who you are. How can you live what you are? You are an ambassador of truth, and you want to live truth. How? You can't live who you are. So if we talk about accountability and transparency, which are products of truth, how do I live what I am? Because that is what I represent. That is what Chukwukike put in me and those of my current comrades who are standing on the path of truth. You can't live who you are. Some of them can't think and critically analyze and scrutinize situation and reach truthful conclusion. Never think outside the box because they are restricted by the box. And in that box, they feel they are smart. And in that level of smartness, they keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over, thinking they're going to get results. That is why when you put them in that box they are in, they think they are smart. So as they move around that circle of that box, they think they are being smart by moving around. But because they don't have intellectual capacity to understand, or the content to understand, that all they need to do is to raise that box and walk out. So they move around that circle and keep having the same result and think that their smartness is producing results. So all they do is that they keep seeing things restricted in that level they are, that box they are, that circle they are. And all they do is the information that is available in that box is what they utilize and keep utilizing. Whereas the wider world, or the world out there, has more information that can help them understand better what is in their limited box. So, but because they are intellectually lazy, incompetent, their intellectual capacity is low and below average, they keep moving around that box, thinking that is where the world ends. So around that box, they think that they have arrived, because all they see is within that box. Whereas in the wider world, there are more information that will even dwarf what they have seen in that box. But because sometimes they are scared of experiencing what is out there, they are scared of experiencing what is out there in the world. They don't want that box to be taken. They want to remain in that box because they are satisfied and contented and are afraid of challenges. So when they see any challenge coming in that will challenge their knowledge of that little box they are in, they fight it. Because they want to remain that local champion. They want to be in that box and keep claiming, do you know how long I've been in this Biafra struggle? Do you know how, and anything that happens, you see them coming to social media, oh God, why is this thing happening? Hey, this is happening. Hey, we must do this. No. Restricted in that box. Restricted in that box. And the only information that is available to them about what they know how to do, just moving around that box, is the information that is in that limited box. What is in that limited box? There's the box itself, whatever is put in that box, whether food for them to eat, whatever thing is restricted. They don't know what is happening out there. Some of them are afraid of leaving that box, even when they realize that they are caged. Just like some of them who are following Simon. They say, please don't leave us in this box. Simon, we know he's the one fighting. Can you imagine somebody coming to say, now, can you imagine somebody like someone who have killed our people? Someone has killed our people. Killed our people. Simon has destroyed Mazin Namdekanu's legacy. Or is destroying, trying to destroy. How? The ESN that was organized, even if we know that Chinans and Wonru and Co. did their own evil, Simon would have been the one to gather them. Because the people now trusted him, started giving him money to gather these people. But rather, he started funding part of them, make them swear oaths to him and Azuka, and one they call Success and one they call whatever again, and all this group, their group. They now they start funding these ones to carry out their own program. Today, they go around in kidnapping. They're not the only ones who are kidnapping, but of course, they're kidnapping. They're part of those kidnapping. I'm not talking about other people because I know that they have been on the path of lies. But when we now gave our trust to Simon, he would have utilized our trust for the better thing. But rather, he now abused our trust. He now betrayed our trust and everything. That is why we keep talking about him. Not because he's important, not because he's relevant, no, but because he's the one the people, after Mazin Namdekanu has been, kidnapped and extraordinarily renditioned, he's the one that now that we're looking at to do the right thing, at least for the sake of Mazin Namdekanu and for the sake of the people who have entrusted their will and everything to him. But look at what happened. It will finally suffocate them. It's such a pity. Gossip, lies, falsehood, all negativity in the same box. That's it. Because there's nothing you can talk about other than the box itself. What is in that box? And the little information from your smartness is utilized to analyze the box. Oh my God. I'm proud of you. I want to say thank you so much too. Thank you so much, Akonwa. Thank you. Delighted. Good and perfect analysis, Ego says. Thank you so much. So, Ndiobi Ojo, of course. Ndiobi Ojo, I don't mind those kinds of people, but I have to let Biafrans know. It is time to crack down on all of this stuff. It is not, when we talk about crackdown, we're not talking about fighting anybody. No. Because those who are on the path of truth don't need to go engage. Chukwukike is in charge. He will take away the chaff from the wheat. But we must do our work to make sure that we get rid of these evil people. And how are we going to do this? Every one of us who are on the path of truth must meet, must unite, must form this group. And that's why Accountability and Transparency Group has been designed. Do you know why we decided to take up the name when Biafrans started calling us Accountability and Transparency Group? Do you know why we decided to take that name? I remember when we were in the meeting, we were saying, okay, what name do we bear? One of our brothers said, the people are calling us Accountability and Transparency. Why not we Accountability? Why not we just take the name since the people are already calling us that name? We say, wow, that's a good idea. We all adopted it. Do you know why we did that? Because that name, Accountability and Transparency, will keep haunting us if we don't do the right thing. So we adopt the name as you called us. You called us that name out of mockery for those working against us. You called us that name because you wanted to mock us. I see, after to try to look at the messages people are sending time, and I begin to read so many messages. I see messages like, hey, criminal, hey, you this, hey, this one. You came on the platform of the one whom you don't expect to exist. You even commented. Okay, it's full of truth. It's an okay case with the truth. That's it. Thank you, Go. accountability and transparency. Judge is the watchword or the watch phrase, is what will haunt us if we refuse to do the right thing. That was why we adopted it, and that's why we still adopt it. So that when we want to do something, we'll ask ourselves, if these people hear this thing we won't do now, they're not going to say with the accountability and transparency, see what will they do? So you see, it keeps us in check. He say, a truthful man, all their evil will fall on their heads. He say, I keep praying every day. You see all these all these lies, all this hypocrisy. God will keep exposing and shaming all of them. All these people who have all you do. I wonder how reasonable people will keep the same over and over. The same thing you keep doing, and you want the same thing you keep doing, the same thing you keep doing, and you want result. Oh my. You want a positive result, you want a different result. Yes, my sister Ego, thank you so much. I appreciate it for that. So obviously you're on the path of truth. Look at one E-Frog has come. He said just 2 people watching, and you want to go away so that it can remain 1 person. What are you doing here? You're coming to remind me how many people are watching. I don't expect you crowd to be here because I know that not crowd follow the truth. So you are one of those people who should leave so that the few people can, be part of it. You don't see his name Collins Ekimo. It makes no sense. So we must understand this. If we don't do the right thing, forget it. You see, all you want to dance around, and follow the wind. You will be blown away like the chaff. Unless you stand on the truth. Mazen Amigani said, we would keep running around in circles. Because people don't want to stand on the path of truth, that is why they don't want to hear truth. And because they don't want to hear truth, they will never agree with the truth. So definitely you will not get the result. You will not get Biafra. Because Biafra is about truth. It's as simple as that. Very, very simple. As simple as that. So today, I want to tell you the only way you can crack down on evil, because when you talk about evil, as I explained when I began, evil is that path that does not lead to Biafra. Don't mind the Eskimo. Eskimo come here to remind me that 2 people are watching. Let him leave. That's what I'm telling him to leave. His name is Eskimo. He has forgot to put the S to make it Eskimo. And let him go and check what Eskimos do. Eskimos are not supposed to be here. They're supposed to be, as you said, go to your cold island. He's an Eskimo. Now, our people are horrible. Biafrans, and they want freedom. They are jokers. And you know what pains me is that we are losing more lives because of this evil we are doing to ourselves. These lies we are patronizing. We are losing more people. Our people are dying because of how we are patronizing lies. Because of how we are allowing ourselves to be manipulated. Mazen Amdekanu said, well, he's wondering, let me play that again. He's wondering, how come people are allowing themselves to be manipulated? Listen, watch this.
To the effect that, why is it that when we're talking about supporting Radio Biafra and the work that Radio Biafra is doing, and this nonsense about people forming Biafra government here, Biafra government in exile there, and all that stupidity, when there is no Biafra yet? Why is it necessary that our people must be deceived? Why are we prone? Why are Igbo people, I'm not saying other different nationalities, why are Igbo people prone to being deceived? Why do we accept lies?
2 things he said I like that. Why are people being deceived, easily deceived? Then he said, why are people prone to be deceived? Easily deceived, prone to be deceived. That means when you tell them easily deceived, when you tell them they just get deceived. But they are prone also. That means in their hearts there is this mindset that is easily tilted towards evil, that makes them, or that puts them on that pedestrian of deceit. One, they are easily deceived. Two, they are prone. For those of you who understand English very well. One, you can be easily deceived. Two, you can be prone to be deceived. Prone to deceit. Go and check it very well. So let me explain to those people very in low words, especially people like that Eskimo. Let me explain to him because his brain has been beclouded by his stupidity. Let me explain to him. He came here to look at the number of people rather than to look at the words being said here. Oh, Christian, you said you called me? Oh, really? I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I'll check it out, please. Sorry for that. I have so many information. Sometimes I am tired of looking at the phone. Sometimes I'm even scared of coming to WhatsApp because so many messages and so many things. I don't know where to start to look at it. And some of them too are threats. People want to, this one want to kill, this one want to do this, this one want to do that, and they think they can stop truth. Now, one, to be easily deceived means that anything they tell you as Mumu you be, as Mugu, like this Eskimo, Claude calls it Ekimo. But you forgot to put S to make it Eskimo. As you be Mumu, anything where you hear, you just shook your head. That's what it means to be easily deceived. Anything where they hear, from my man, now they talk. Whether he's saying the truth, whether he's saying lies, they don't care. As long as it is their man. Oh, my man don't talk. They don't reason. They don't reason. Those ones, their brain is on absolute pause. Their brain. Guys, you know those days when those cassette players, those buttons you press it down, it will now start playing. You press it out. Then sometimes one day I remember one we used to have. We press it, suddenly the head got destroyed. So you have pressed it, has gone down. Now you cannot press it out again for it to be released. The thing becomes hanging there, and it now begins to give you problems. That means your set on the spoil with that too. So you have to look for a way of trying to pull that thing that has gone down because the head is lost. The head went away. You're trying to look for it to pull it up so that it will release the stuff and start working well. That is how these people who are easily deceived are. They don't press something for their brain. The thing don't enter. They don't form contour. All those kind of gist. You don't form contour, so the thing don't press enter. So to bring them out, they had. So their head, they malfunction. Their brain now malfunction entity. Those are those who are easily deceived. He's still talking about those who are watching. That's why I said they have some, I don't know, microscopic vectors eating their brains gradually. Then those who are prone to be deceived are people whose mindset, whose hearts are full of, evil things. Their hearts are full of selfishness, jealousy, envy, just like Akwanwa said here, that jealousy and envy is a disease. Their hearts are full of all of this stuff. So when they get any information against that thing that they want to hate, quickly they grab it. So those facilities in their hearts, envy, jealousy, greed, and all of that, are those things that make them prone to be deceived. The first set of people are just empty. The second people are people who think they are smart, but because they are empty, they don't have intellectual content. They have filled that space with so many evil definitions. It's just like when Jesus said that when an evil stuff is cast out, when an evil is cast out, from somebody, when demons are cast out from somebody, the demons wander and wander and wander, and then when they look around and discover that they have nowhere to stay, they come back to see if that house where they were cast out from is still empty. When they come out and see that place empty, you know what they do? They go get more sophisticated demons. Correct demons. These ones where they are weary. They are weary and another level. They just get those kinds of people, those kinds of demons. They come back to that place. The situation of that person becomes worse than the previous. You see those people who, when Chinas and Wonru and Co. carried out their evil against Mazin and Kanu, and they couldn't do the right thing. Okay, Christian, all right, try and call. Let me see. I hope because I have some other activities after I call, but we're going to have a briefly, so we can talk because you have called initially. You know, when they did that, when they discovered that Chinos and Wunru and Co have done those evils, because why I say they do evil, you see, I don't always want to, you know, accuse people, but I want to have evidences to accuse you. And the only evidence I have against them, I was not there. I don't know whether they have information about Mazin Abikano before he traveled also, but of course we know from what they have said, and some of them said they have information, they know, so which means they have knowledge about what happened to Mazin Abikano. But the best way to bring about to bring about trust, especially when it has to do with people, is to, as a group, as a system, raise a fact-finding committee to prove that you don't have a hand in the evil. Once you are shying away from raising a fact-finding committee, I know that you have something in your cupboard that you don't want us to know. That's my evidence. I don't have any other evidence against them. But the evidence I have is that they refuse. I can't imagine that the leader of 120 million people all over the nations of the world is kidnapped, extraordinarily renditioned, and yet those who are in his cabinet refuse to do anything. They are just quiet, and they keep telling you they are working, and they keep telling you they are working with lawyers. They are working with lawyers that are working. Those lawyers are working in the company. That's the name company called Nigeria. That company that is called Nigeria. Now you're working with lawyers who are working under the company called Nigeria to carry out justice in a department that belongs to that company called the justice system in the zoo called Nigeria. I'm talking about the stuff I have against China. Someone is here asking me what's evil. Can I point out the evil? What is more evil? The same Eskimo. I told him, add S to your name so you go to your code land. There's something, a virus in your brain that is really causing your headache. So that's the only one you heard. All the points I've been making, it is this one that you see. And the next thing now, when you don't get any other point that you like, you refer to the number of people viewing. Okay, let me allow you display your stupidity, but at least what I'm saying is entering your brain. The evidence here is, I'm making it very simple so that you can understand, because I know you're an e-frog. Just jump from one place to the other. You know, they cannot cause any, they just jump around and make noise. And what you're making here is noise anyways, like frog. You don't want irritating noise. It just irritates us. It's not. Every reasonable organization, nation, body, agency, or group take action immediately when something happens. The Eskimos. Now, what they do is this: they set up. When you lose money, when you lose something, and maybe you know something happens to the funds in that company, the first thing that the man does is he go through CCTV camera or whatever information to find out what has happened. Anytime something happens to somebody in your group, whether the leader or somebody who is not even the leader, the first thing you do is that you look for what happened. Why? How come this happened to this person? Mazin Abikano is so important for any group, for any member of his cabinet to sit by and think that a compulsory duty that they set up a fact-finding 1 month plus, 2 years, 1 month plus, June 16th, 2021, till now, no fact-finding committee. And when you talk, I heard one of them one time saying that when Mazin Abikano comes out, they're going to look for, they will know what happened to him. You want the person who is in trouble to come out to tell you what happened to him. You see how, that's why I said, you see, our people think they are smart, but they don't have intellectual content. That is what we are suffering. We must crack down on this evil. We must crack down on this evil. We must crack down on this evil. But I want to assure you that Biafra will come what may. If you are ready, you'll be part of it. If you're not ready, you'll be cut off. But I just pity those people who are fighting Biafra. Those of you who are fighting Biafra, I pity those of you. Fighting Biafra by fighting the truth. It's not by saying Biafra, we are Biafra, we are the morning rising sun, or whatever you call it. No, that's not what it means. You can be calling the name of Biafra 200 times a day, and wearing Biafra jersey or uniform or cloth or face cap or whatever. You can be talking about it every day. If you don't do the right thing, stay on the path of truth, and avoid this sentiment of supporting anything because it is your man that is in there, or somebody from your community, then you are just on the path of evil, and you will be brought down by the spirit of Biafra. That's it. I want to thank you all. I want to appreciate everyone. I want to appreciate you. Those of you on the path of truth. I have, of course, Ego. I have Makwanwa. I have Christian. I have who else? Those of you who are on the path of truth. Those of you who have sent messages and are on the path of truth. And then also, of course, I want to also say I believe that the e-frogs who are here, who came here to constitute nuisance, have gotten the messages, including those ones who are telling me that they are the landlord, they are the owner of Ghana, including all those e-frogs. I want to tell you all that you are welcome, and it's good for you to to be here to listen to the gospel of truth. One of these days, you will catch the truth, and the truth will make you free. That is our prayers. We don't hurt people. We don't hunt people. We are people of truth. That is why you don't see us threaten people. We don't have time for that, because we know what we carry is bigger than threats. It's only evil that threatens people. When Cain saw the glory that Cain carried, he threatened. The next thing that comes into his mind is how to eliminate him. That's what happens anytime you see people threatening people. Just know that they are these ones that they don't have anything to offer. So we have what it takes, and we're going to get there. I want to tell you, wherever you are, you want to join the accountability group, you have to join. Not if you want to join, you have to join the accountability and transparency group, and it is very, very important. Come, call the number or send a message to the number. Tell me, and we're going to call you. The team will discuss with you. This is the time, that group that Mazin American said is going to emerge, that will come out of truth. That group is here now, transparency and accountability group. Because any group that Mazin American talks about that would set the pace for Biafra, for the clock to tick towards Biafra again, is that group that will stand on truth and honesty. That's why Mazin American said that if we don't stand on the truth, on the path of truth and honesty, we shall never smell Biafra in 1 trillion years. So, which means that it's simple. The solution now is that we stand on the path of truth. That's the solution. That is why we're calling on you right now to be part of it. I want to thank you all for watching, wherever you're watching from. Thank you all. I'll see you again tomorrow. God bless you, very good. I appreciate you. Please share, subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed to this channel, and also share this program on all your social media platforms so that more people can listen and watch later. This gospel of truth, we need few of us, just few of us. That's why Mazin Amdekano said 100. Just few people. We just decide to stand on the path of truth. Watch it. In 6 months, we're getting Biafra. Just sit down, decide to sit on the path of truth. And we're already having few people who are standing on the path of truth. They're already with us. They're already with us. And somebody like Ego is part of them, standing on the path of truth. And we're going to get it. We're calling on you now. Stop dancing around. All this. If you continue like this, our people will keep losing our people. One day it might affect you. So the best thing now is to tell yourself the truth. Forget about all this ego and all this pride and all this and all of this stuff. Forget about all of this stuff. You don't need it. Forget about, oh, hey, it's my man. And my man did it. Hey, from my community, hey, not from my state. Forget about all those stuff. It doesn't help. That's why we're still moving in circles. Truth, honesty. That's what we need to get our freedom. God bless you all. I appreciate you. I'm waiting for your messages on this number, and then we are going to discuss with you and all of that. We'll continue. Thank you all. I appreciate you. God bless you. Real good. Stay put. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you.